GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Get up to 10% instant cashback offer on Vivo V30e. Pre-book now.
Hello, Anushka. Welcome to Galatta Plus.
Hello, sir.
You know, this is really a hello of a very different kind because usually
Yeah.
I know who sitting on the other side, and
Yeah.
usually the person on the other side
Yeah.
knows who I am.
Yes.
This is a first for me where neither of us knew about each other before this interview. And I think that's some good energy there.
But I have to say, I've heard about you, and I'm so glad and honored to be doing this.
No.
with you.
That's
Genuinely.
but I'm saying that this is a new thing, and what's really fascinating for me
Yeah.
is you're so insanely accomplished and you're 21 years old.
Yeah.
At what point do you think you became this Anushka Sen that the world knew?
I still don't believe it.
Like,
Honestly.
right? But what is the point that you exploded, so to speak?
I would say recently, when I was representing India internationally, I did 2 events which made me feel like there's something I'm doing which is right, like that difference that I'm making
Right.
as an actor, as an artist, as a human being. So I went to Dubai for a UN event and I was representing India. And then I've been working in the Korean industry also for the past 1.5 years. So there was this New Year ceremony, there was a bell ceremony, which for the past...
This is in Korea?
Yes, this is in Korea, and this was during New Year's. They never let any foreigner touch this bell, which is very really special to them. And it was a really a very big event. It was for New Year's, of course. So there's a countdown, and then you ring the bell, and it's New Year's. But only Korean local stars were able to do that. And for the very first time, they let foreigners do it, and I was one of them. And my photo and my video was on buildings in Seoul, so the whole world was watching it, and especially whole South Korea was watching it. So there was my name, my country, and what I do. That was just surreal, and I was like, this is something that is actually happening.
This is which year?
This is just this year.
2024 beginning.
Yes.
Oh my God. So, but I would say that
Yeah.
didn't the fact that you have almost 50 million followers on Instagram,
Yeah.
that did not tell you that you were doing something right?
Of course, no, it says a lot
Yeah.
because there's so many people I meet also on regular basis. Yesterday I was at this event and there were girls of my age who said that I've been watching you for as long as I can remember. I've been watching you since my childhood. I said, can you say our childhood, because I'm 21.
Yeah.
So, but that's beautiful because when I meet people and they say that they look up to me, or they feel that what I'm doing is relatable and they like my work, they like my craft, of course that makes a difference. But you can't say that to yourself that yes, I am the best, I'm doing I'm that accomplished thing. When you said so, it's a compliment, and only when people say that to me, it's still hard to believe because I have a long way to go.
No, sure, you have a long way to go, but you have come a long way.
Yes.
And see, the thing is, you've just released an Amazon series.
Yes.
You're also going to do a show in Korea.
Yeah.
You're doing a film,
Yeah.
Asia,
Yes.
called Asia. So we'll talk about all that. Before that, I think, and the reason I'm asking you this is, for many people, becoming an actor is a distant dream.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But becoming an Instagram celebrity is a relatively attainable dream. And I mean, I don't mean it's easy.
Yeah.
But at least it's something that one can...
Approachable.
It's something easier than knocking on studio heads' doors or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a young person today who wants to do what you've done on Instagram and therefore create a profile apart from the creative pursuits of, not that this is not creative, but you know what I'm saying, the acting and the other things.
Yes.
What would be your suggestion to how do I go about it?
I feel right now I sense that there's a change in the digital space. Initially, people were just doing it for the fun of it, just sharing and stuff. But right now, it's taken everybody takes it very seriously, which is good. But there's also there's a disadvantage because when you take it too seriously, I think you lose your authenticity, you lose yourself in it because you're just trying to do trends, you're just trying to be somebody you're not. And instead of getting inspired, you're just following a lead, if that makes sense. So I feel that's when people don't connect with you. With me, what has happened, and I hope that's the reason, because I keep hearing this from my fans, that they find me relatable. So when you see somebody on social media, like when I was younger, people I looked up to, if they spoke about mental health or they spoke about their their struggles, I felt that, oh, I can relate to this person. So even though this person seems like she's such a big star, but she seems approachable, or I feel like, okay, I can learn something from her and get inspired. So when it comes to social media, I feel just being authentic really, really helps. I always try to be myself. I always try to share with the audience what I'm actually feeling like, and not try to just look perfect, you know. I just like always share if I'm happy, if I'm sad. And I've been on the gram for about 6 years now, so my fans literally know so much about me. Like they tell me things about me that I'm like, which interview did I say this in? Like, you know, that they
Like,
really
can you mention something that
like, you know, like they told me that I tend to flip my hair a lot when I talk, and I didn't notice that. Then use of hands is something that I do a lot, that my directors have said. But in specific, when my fans have told me things that I do when I'm doing interviews or stuff, it's amazing that they notice the smallest details about me. So just being yourself, just being authentic, it really, really helps, because I feel then there is a connection, then there is a bond. So for me, these 50 million followers, there are some people who have followed me since like they were my, like when they were children, and I was also a child, and I was shooting, I was working. And there's people who are joining me now, and that whole journey is really beautiful.
right? So you're saying authenticity is the key.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So, you know, when I talk to a lot of people about Instagram, and I mean serious users of Instagram, as
Yes.
opposed to someone like me who's basically just using it to post something that says new interviews up or new reviews up or something like
Yeah.
that. They talk about this term, they have a good Insta game.
Ooh, yes.
You know, that the word game,
Yeah.
what do you make of that?
I think it really depends person to person. For me, my Instagram game is to be relatable. For somebody, it might be something else.
Right.
Like, I love the fact that everybody has found their own space, because Instagram is such a big platform. Not only Instagram, social media is just so huge these days. Be YouTube or be like bigger platform, like big formats and smaller formats. Some people, you know, like to cook, and they can just share that. Some people like skincare, so they're just trying to share their own skin journey. Like fitness is something that is getting people closer these days. I think that's wonderful. Like you can get inspired also. Some people see it negatively, that it's putting pressure. There's beauty standards these days, which is sad. Of course, we need to, you know, talk about that. The awareness that not everything you see on the gram is real. But the fitness people are actually trying to promote a healthy lifestyle. And I think people of my age, Gen Z, have become really conscious of what they eat. So they're trying to eat clean. They're trying to live a good lifestyle. Also, COVID has taught us so much about hygiene and leading a good like lifestyle. So I think social media has created that awareness. So talking about Instagram game, it's literally what you are, what you believe in, and if you are good at expressing that and connecting to people, I think that's when you win. That's Instagram game. Yeah.
Right. Because I've also heard it in the context of clothes and
Yes.
yeah, you know,
Exactly.
yeah.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Fashion is getting people together, talking about trends, and it's so amazing, because I'm an actor and I'm a creator and I do my own stuff, and I'm somebody who's interested in fashion. So people who are talking about fashion trends, I really love them. I look up to them. I learn so much from them. I share my own insights. So I think that's really interesting.
You said 6 years on Instagram,
Yes.
right? So 6 years, did that help you lose a lot of your inhibition when it came to facing the camera? It's not that you haven't seen the camera earlier, but how did that stint help you when you kind of became an actor again?
I think so.
Or
it
did
goes,
it help at all?
No, it did, of course. It goes hand in hand. I keep telling people that, because I've been acting for a while now. It's been a few years that I've been acting, and I never took a break from that, because that's something that I'm really, you know,
Right.
passionate about. And I really want to do that till my last breath. I really enjoy acting. And except that, talking about social media is something that goes hand in hand for me. And I think social media has taught me so much. And, you know, it also gives you critic, of course, how people are reacting. Third, the biggest help that I've got from social media is to understand my audience and what they want from me and what they like from me. So initially, when you were just working, you would just go with the instinct that, okay, what am I liking? What do I think audience likes? Now, because you have social media, you can actually gauge that what is something that people are enjoying.
Right.
So you can have that balance where you like a script and you think your fans will like it. and then take up a project like that and just deliver. So I think that has helped me a lot. And facing the camera, I was always really comfortable in front of camera because I enjoyed this. I think that helps. But social media has taught me to be my own director, be my own script writer, because when you make content, when you're a content creator, you have to do everything by yourself. Now I have a team, of course, who help me to edit and all of that. Shout out to them, they're doing great. But initially when I started my journey, you become really confident. When you go back on set, you actually start focusing on the smallest of details, because it's almost the same, because you're making content here, you're making content there.
Right.
It's bigger format, this is a smaller format. But it makes you self-dependent. I feel that before somebody else says that you're taking the light wrong, you can always be like, oh wait, I light myself, so how will I take it better? So that way it's taught me a lot.
Forgive me for what could be seen as a boomer question, but how much is too much when it comes to putting yourself out on social media?
How much is too much? I will tell you. It's actually
And do you worry about that?
like I said, too many people are taking it very seriously. And more than putting yourself out there, I feel absorbing. How much are you absorbing? If you're putting it out there and waiting for the comments and being like, oh, how are people reacting to this? That can get toxic. I think that's even worse than putting yourself out there, because I'm, as a person, an extrovert. So if you meet me, I will tell you anything about me if you ask me. So that way, when I'm on social media, it doesn't come across like, oh, I'm sharing too much. Am I sharing too much? Of course, there's some things that you want to keep private, like, maybe your family and maybe some parts of your life, you want to keep it to yourself. And that's all right. But for me, more than oversharing, it's about absorbing what's happening on the gram. Like, if there are 10 good comments, there must be those 2 who are just being like, I don't know why. And I feel pity for them now, because I think I've been, on this for a very long time. So now I've developed a thick skin, so it doesn't affect me. But I want them to understand that not everybody is like me. There must be a girl out there who's just shared a dance video and you have said something about her body and she will feel insecure and she'll stop dancing probably. So you're affecting her life. So you need to be sure that you are happy with yourself, you are happy with the content, and then just see the positives and not take the negatives too seriously. Yeah, that's important.
Right. So when you see comments about, let's talk about your new Amazon show,
Yes.
right? It dropped just last week.
Yes.
Yes. So first of all, what made you say yes to the show?
Everything. Honestly, this was one show where my heart, my brain, like literally was like, we have to get this. I remember when I got the audition script, there were 2 scripts, and one was like a very sad scene and one was like a very sweet romantic scene. I read the script and I felt something very old school about it. I like old Bollywood movies. I love Shah Rukh sir. I love all his films. So you know what it makes you, like the first love, very innocent, very pure.
Shah Rukh's not going to be happy about this.
Why?
Old Bollywood movies starring Shah Rukh.
No, but
I'm kidding.
he knows I love him.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I think, mention him in all of my interviews.
Yeah.
He's my biggest mentor. Like, I really want him to know that. I've met him twice. So third time I meet him, I'll tell him. Not old, previous Bollywood movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when he's probably started or something like that. Like those moments to recreate that, I think this show has the touch of Gen Z, but also a combination of old school love.
Yeah.
I think that combination was something which really was unique to me. I read a lot of scripts before that and I loved them. There were thrillers, there were some romance thrillers and all of that, which is good in their place. But this was something I was missing personally as an audience. I just felt that we needed a rom-com where people can be tired, frustrated, and when they come home and if they watch our show, they might smile and be like, you know what, I feel better. And I really want to be a part of this project. I would literally do the smallest role just to be a part of such a beautiful concept. And I got lucky that, they thought that I can do justice to the character of Asmara. And I had a gala time shooting with the team. The script is beautiful. It makes you smile. It makes you feel things. It has
Great
messages
cast.
also. Great cast, of course. And they have really amazing messages, which in the entertainment you might not see. Like, we're not trying too hard for it to go out there, but you will know what we're trying to say. So it's a beautiful mixture of lot of emotions, and it's a beautiful show, beautiful cast, amazing director, and I'm just really great that the way the reviews have been coming out every morning, I can't stop smiling, sir. Genuinely, when you work so hard on a project, and it's not only me, it's like hundreds of people have worked on it. And when people accept it and get emotionally attached to the show, it makes you feel like that happiness high is something else. And it's beautiful.
So, what have your fans have had to say about Dosti?
Dil Dosti Dilemma, they loved a lot of things from it. They loved the fact that there is that generation gap between
And
me
these
and
are things
Tanvi
you did on
ma'am.
Instagram?
So yeah,
Yeah.
yes. So on Instagram, I've been seeing comments, and they've been, giving me reviews. All my fans, so they loved my banter with Tanvi Azmi ma'am. What a veteran, what a legend. Got to, share screen with
Those
her.
are some of the best scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So
Yeah.
everybody's been talking about that banter quite a lot, and they said that the journey and the transformation that they kind of go through is really beautiful. And I think it's getting families together. That's the biggest compliment. Somebody said, most of the people said actually, that I was watching it with my mom and my nani, and it's really after a long time that 3 generations have come together and sat and watched a show together.
Right.
So that was, I think, beautiful, because we're getting families together. That is one they're talking about. They have said that, my performance is really good. They really think that the layers that Asmara has, there's a beautiful transformation that she goes through emotionally and a lot of ways. So they really like that. They found her relatable also, because there's a line in the trailer, young hona kitna mehenga hai. So it's funny, but it also, makes you realize things. It's relatable for Gen Zs. And also they love Rasmara Farzan, the first love, old school romance. So I love there's so many things that they're picking on, and they love it, and they're relating with the show. It's beautiful.
Right. And now you're going international. You have gone international.
Yes.
When is the Asia out?
So Asia first sked has been done, and we are waiting for the second sked. It's happening this year.
Right. Just for so that people know, just tell us what Asia is.
So Asia is a film, which is a Korean film, and it's internationally is going to be released very, very soon. And I'm playing an assassin in that. I'm representing my country, India. And we have people from all over Asia joining in this project. It's not only a film for entertainment, but I think it speaks volumes that it's the first time Asians are coming together for one particular project. And I think it's a big win for us Asians. And there are a lot of actors, amazing, talented cast, and our director is Korean. He's also amazing. And yeah, it's an action thriller, and I'm really looking forward for people to watch it.
How does it feel, seriously, to done all this already? I mean, like, what do you look forward to? There are so many things that you've done that many people can't even dream of.
Absolutely. I'm very, very grateful. I think it's unbelievable. Sometimes when people tell me this is when I realize. For me, it doesn't feel like that, because I'm just a go-getter. So I'm just constantly, after Dil Dosti Dilemma, I'm like, what am I doing next? What am I doing next? What is something that I can, get on with? What is a good script that I can take on? Promotions have been going on. So I'm just always looking forward for the next thing. And you sometimes look back and you're like, oh, but for me, it's just literally motivation to do even better than I have. So I don't think that it's a lot. I think there's a long way to go. Like, my new journey has just started with OTT, and I really wish to do more and more like good characters, interesting scripts that make people feel something and, just relate to. And yeah, there's a long way to go, but it's inspiring and motivating.
It's inspiring and motivating for a lot of people, because the thing is, one of the big changes that I saw about 2-3 years ago in films is that, at that time I didn't recognize them, because I'm not big on social media, simply because I just feel it's like it's a different thing.
Yeah.
So when certain people came on screen, the younger audience started screaming. And I was like, wow, okay, so who are they screaming for? And then later I found out that they were big on, any platform, social media platform, and they've created content of like, I don't know, they might have made shorts or this or that, or like they have whatever, they creators. So that was a big thing, because now the film industry is co-opting a lot of creators so that they reach out to younger generations who pretty much don't watch many films.
Absolutely.
Right. So there's that dilemma, right? You want to become an actor.
Yeah.
But you're also talking to a generation that is increasingly not watching films to a large extent.
Yes.
right? Because they want shorter content.
Yeah.
How do you balance this dilemma?
I think it's firstly I love that you have used dilemma. It's interesting. You like
Yeah,
wordplay.
yeah.
But talking about that, I think that's one thing I really think the whole generation needs to work on is that the watch time is decreasing day by day. Like it's dangerous because films are something they're so beautiful. Indian cinema, for that matter, is known for getting families together and it's known for like having a big message but also entertainment. I'm really proud of our Indian cinema. And to even think that there's one particular generation, the bigger generation right now, not going out there and watching films is very scary. But what I feel is that Gen Z is also very accepting. Like I feel there are a lot of like there's a lot of assumptions about Gen Zs, like because we are on social media, so we'll not do a certain thing, or we are. I don't know. There's so many I've heard, like they say that they're just losing themselves. They're so ambitious that they are losing touch with their family, which might be right in some cases. But I feel it's not about generation. It's just a people's thing. And what I'll say is that they're trying to create opportunities for themselves with the digital space. I think that has helped that we have more opportunities for people. And talking about films, I think if it's the right content, if it's the right script, I think no matter if they're Gen Zs or not, they will be accepting it. Like recently, there's so many films that did so well, right? Like there was this film, I think Crew. There were 3 generations
Yeah.
in that, and such a beautiful concept there because they can target different audiences.
Right.
So if the script is right, I think it will really do
It will
better.
do
Yeah.
well, yeah. But I like what you said, because the thing is, I do see that with Gen Z. I like a word that you used earlier, go-getter.
Yeah.
Use that word, and that's what it seems to me now, that it's like people are able to identify very, very young what they want to do.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I think it's also because there's so much more exposure to the world
Yes,
right now,
yes.
which wasn't there earlier. But it's amazing how at the age of 14 or 15, people are so clear about what they want to be, and
Yeah.
they know which tools to use.
Yeah.
They just kind of, so that it almost seems like they figure everything out.
Yes.
You get that feeling, right?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, with some little help also is very important though, because sometimes when you're a go-getter, you tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself. I feel at a young age, there's like disadvantages and advantages of being Gen Z. Gen Zs, like you said, I'm so glad that you said that because, they are ambitious and they're trying to make a life for themselves, and they have that certain clarity of what they want to do, and they're also very independent. Like they want to make a way for themselves, like they want to do it by themselves, which is interesting. But also the pressure that they put on themselves, I think that is something they really need to work on. And I feel if there's a healthy relationship between the parents and them, and you have a good circle of friends, it's very important. I genuinely think that I am in this industry which can get, of course you're happy, you're very happy, but sometimes you have those days when you're going through self-doubt and confusion because it's not 9 to 5, so there's no consistency.
There's no break.
So there's no break, and you're constantly thinking, what am I doing next? Like imagine everybody saying congratulations about Dil Dosti Dilemma, but here I am thinking, what am I doing next? So that you can't be just sitting and be like, oh, I've had a good release, I can now chill. That doesn't happen, and that can get very toxic because just being a go-getter can also be like you'll burn out. So I have my parents who help me with that. I have my friends who help me understand things and calm me down. So I think Gen Zs, if they have a good relationship with their parents and also have a good set of friends, then I think they can achieve anything and also have a good lifestyle.
Right. So how are you able to, parents are different, but with friends,
Yeah.
how do you know these people are genuinely there for me, and these people are there just because I'm Anushka Sen, I'm a celebrity, I'm an Instagram celebrity, I'm an actor,
Yeah.
done a web series, I'm doing a Korean, film,
Yeah, I think that's one dilemma which happens.
I love the fact that you're plugging the,
I learned from you. But it's true because sometimes that can happen because you're famous. And I was also, when I was back in school, I used to be that person who would, come rarely. Whenever I was there were so many people, oh my God, I'm watching your show, I know what you're doing, and social media just started out. So that happens, but I have I don't know. I think I'm lucky like that. I just really have attracted good friends. Like they are my pillars. There's a friend of mine who I've known for 16 years, and I'm 21. So I've known her more than like a decade, and it's a lot. And we grew up together. We are family friends. And for the 9 years, sir, she has been living in Kolkata. So it's a long distance thing. It can even get like really tricky, right? Because you're not meeting, you're meeting once in a year. But she's my biggest strength, Ipshita. She is such a beautiful person inside out. She has been my biggest supporter, and she's seen my journey. So she was my friend when I was nothing, and she was my friend when I was seeing the struggle, and she's still my friend when I'm, kind of doing better. And I think she's one friend. Another friend of mine, I've known her for like since school. And I'm not saying that having new friends means that I'll not be getting good friends. I still have new friends that I've made even from this show. Kush is a guy who's just started out. It's his debut. I'm somebody who's been working for a few years, but we never had that kind of a problem where he was like, oh, okay, she's senior, maybe like that, and any awkward differences. We are such good friends. We talk about work, we discuss our lives, and it's amazing to have friends who motivate you and support you no matter what, and not have that sense of competition and compare yourselves, because I really want people to know that you have your own journey. It's not a race. You have your own race. Like it's literally your own journey, and you have to achieve your goals. You can't compare with anybody else.
Right. It's easy to say this, like a lot of people saying that, you need perspective,
Yeah.
you need to be grounded,
Yeah.
you don't need to burn out.
Yeah.
You should look at it's your own journey. You should not
Yes.
look at others.
Yeah.
And believe me, in a much smaller way, I have done, like, I have heard all these things.
Yeah.
But even at my age, and given the fact that I've been doing this for a while, there is always that bit of insecurity.
Yeah.
There's like is somebody else getting an interview that I'm not getting? Is somebody else, their reviews tracking better than mine? Not all the time, but sometimes there's a little inner demon that crops up and keeps chipping away at your brain. It's like, how do you handle those situations?
For me, I think that way I'm very self-obsessed, honestly, like in a very healthy way. I am only constantly thinking, maybe it's the fact that I've been working for so long, or it's the way my parents have brought me up, where they always told me, I used to be a dancer also. So I was in the Shamak Davar group,
Yeah.
okay, and we were 50 of us, and I was like 9 years old. So there were times when they would not put me in the center and put me in the side, where's the 50 people, not every performance you get a center. And I would be like, Mom, see, they are not putting me in the center. I'm a better dancer. I can do this better. And my mom would be like, no, it's her moment. She has got the chance. You can't take that chance away from her. What you can do is be in the corner, but do your best. And if you do your best, people will notice you. That's the mindset I grew up with. So now if somebody is getting a bigger show, is doing something better than me, I'm always like, I'm literally focusing on my own corner and trying to do my best.
Right.
Because I am really grateful. There's so many, the population, India's population is the highest. And literally, if you see, there's so many people in Mumbai who are struggling to even find that one chance. And I can't be greedy. I can't sit here and be like, I have to, take everybody else's chance. No, I have to be grateful of what I have. There's a beautiful quote that somebody told me, and I've been, just last week somebody told me, and it's the most amazing way of saying it in one line, is instead of focusing on what if you focus on the what is, that'll be better for you. Because what is happening right now, that's amazing. I have a show going on. I have Korea. I have so many things happening. I need to be grateful about that. Instead
And you're
of
a global
thinking,
star.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I have so much, and if I'm not being grateful about that, how am I supposed to go ahead? So if you're grateful, I think that keeps you really humble and grounded.
Okay, right. I want to end this by asking you one last thing. It's
Yeah.
like, again, because I think you should be teaching life management lessons.
Oh my God, no, sir. Come on.
No, really, because it's like the way when I was looking through your posts,
Yes.
right? I'm seeing you standing there, showing off new clothes. You're saying you got a car.
Yes.
And you're saying my first BMW.
Yes.
Which is a very interesting way of phrasing it, because you're like, there's going to be more BMWs to come.
Absolutely.
As opposed to saying my first car.
Yeah.
There's a high-rise flat that you're like showing up with your parents are
Yeah.
nearby. You're like that kind of thing. And these are all normal life moments for everybody,
Yes.
right? It's like getting a car, getting a
Yeah.
thing, but getting a BMW or getting a high rise in
Yeah.
Mumbai, these are not like normal, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that that can attract a kind of and I'm asking you this question because I'm a big believer in energies.
Yeah, me
Do you
too.
think that can attract a kind of negative energy?
Okay, I have an answer for that. First of all, I would like to say something about that. I feel a lot of people, now you are somebody who saw that I have had a journey of like, more than a decade, and now I'm here doing Dosti, it's my first prime show, and now I have to do better.
Yeah.
But sometimes when people see these things on the gram, like they see the car or they see the high-rise building, and they see my age and they immediately compare it with that she's so young, how come she's doing that? But what they don't know is the sleepless nights and the hard work that has gone behind not only me, my team,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
agency, my parents, my friends, all the numerous actors I've worked with, all like minutes and hours and seconds of hard work that has gone in. So when I see my BMW or I see my high-rise building, it's not the materialistic part of it. For me, every time I see my car, I'm like, at 18, if I can do that, I have to do even better.
You got
at
your car at
21.
18?
Yes, sir.
The
That was my
BMW.
first car ever, and I got that when I was 18. So like, and I was always a car person. I used to have posters of cars in my room because I'm a big manifester like that. So it was a very big moment. So more than the car, it's about that I've worked so hard to get here. It motivates me to do even better.
Right.
And I think that people need to understand, and I think people do. When I share on social media, there's a reason why. It's not like, see, I have a high-rise building. It's not that. I know there are young people out there who watch me. Like my age ranges from, my following age ranges from, I think, teenagers to much elder people. So I know for a fact that when those teenagers see me getting this at this age, they will feel a sense of drive and they think if Anushka can do this, I can do it too. So for me, it's more like I really want people to get inspired. And talking about energies, very important. I believe in energies a lot. I think even when you spoke about friendships, I'm a big energy person. I will always know if somebody's energy is off and then they don't get my friendship subscription. So then I'm like, no, this is not energy I want to get. And like evil eye, we say evil eye, that why share these things but I feel your intention is pure. If you're good at heart, you will only attract positive energies, and that's what I believe in.
Right.
Yeah.
So you said you're a big manifester.
Yes.
What are you manifesting next?
I'm manifesting a genre shift now. Like, because I've done a rom-com, and I always wanted to do a rom-com, but now I want a genre shift, something that really surprises people. That would be like the earliest manifesting thing that I would want.
Nice. All the best, Anushka. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Get up to 10% instant cashback offer on Vivo V30e. Pre-book now.